Hello everyone, welcome back to our Pastor's Chat. I've got Dan Oswald here with me again. It's actually been a while. I don't know the last time we did this.
At least a year and a half, maybe longer than that.
But we're excited. We're kind of doing this Pastor's Chat following up from our congregational meeting that was last Sunday, I believe. But we want to talk to you about some surprises, some things inspiring, and why we want to tell you now. We want to talk about the stuff that we didn't discuss that pertains to the building project today. So what we want to do first is we kind of want to just bring the timeline back of kind of how we got to today. I mean, right now we're sitting in the new lobby. So how did we get to where we are today? And as I was thinking about this, it all goes back to a strategic planning meeting that started in 2018. And Dan, you were there, weren't you?
I was here.
Yeah, and I was there, and many other people that were very involved. And in those meetings, it was over a weekend. We came out with 5 visions that were meant to bless our people and also to bless others. Vision 1 was renovate our facilities to create a can't miss environment that people don't want to leave and can't wait to get back to. And it was very fitting because there was already discussion years before that it was time to renovate this lobby space. And so that vision got set at that point, and then we embarked on a journey. And now look where we're at right now. You know, look where God has brought us, what He's moved in His people. We went from everything starting with a building project that had its goals to deciding to do a capital campaign, which was actually a very difficult decision in how we chose to raise the money. You went into it having one feeling about how we should raise the money and came out on a different side. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Certainly when we've done any renovation or expansion in the past at the church, we did it internally. And, you know, we set what we wanted to do, and then we got cost estimates and put it together, and then we had to revise things as we did it. Well, this time, and I don't remember this being as diverse a view on things, there was quite a difference in opinion of various people as to not only what to do, but how much to do. And it was hard to put a finger on just what we could afford.
Yeah.
So was asked to head up a group to decide how we're going to finance it, how we're going to pay for it, and what can we afford. So as we got involved in it, we met with a couple of capital campaign consulting groups, managers, and they gave us a framework of what they would be able to do. And part of the information was that when you hire somebody to do that, you typically raise 150% more or 50% more than you would. And that would be really helpful. We also went through with all the things that are involved, and the more people you can get involved in the process, the more successful it would be. So I was somebody who was against that. I became convinced. I mean, God pointed out to me that would be very useful, as He did with the other members of the committee, the group that explored that. So that's how we came out to having a capital campaign consulting group.
Yeah, and then so we had that capital campaign consulting group came in, and it is amazing to think of. There were so many people that were involved in that, different types of teams carrying out different things for that campaign. And one of those teams produced the incredible church banquet that we all went to, that I'm sure many of you remember, from just a wonderful time together for fellowship, a wonderful time together of food, but then I felt that what was said that night drove. We saw what God was calling us to. It got us excited about this possibility, and it brought about that moment where we all left there and we kind of looked at our finances. We took a hard look and asked God, what could He do over the next 3 years with our finances, and we made pledges of a certain amount to give towards this building project. So, and I am giving those pledges to this day, and many others are as well. And again, we're sitting in this new space. That's what we're talking about. So then after that, after the pledges were in, we figured out what we were able to afford as a church. And after we got through, the timeline keeps going, we then moved towards the project started up. And we wanted to talk about some of the amazing blessings we saw that during the project renovation as well, because God was moving from the beginning to even through the whole piece of the project. We saw things from during the projects. There's always going to be things that you don't anticipate. And as we were talking today, that you have a contingency in place, and ours was somewhere around
10%, which was in excess of, it was between $200,000 and $250,000.
Yeah, that money just to handle things that you don't expect.
Correct.
And I remember one of the ones that we threw out as a prayer request to our church was they needed to replace this water main on Main Street. And the one option was we would have had to pay for the whole thing. And because we were doing this project, they were saying, well, we're going to require you to do this. And it was
maybe $250,000. Yeah. It was a lot of money. Yes.
A lot of money. And then the other one was that I think the township or the borough might have just decided, well, we were going to do this anyways, and we'll kind of assist and handle this, and it would be less expensive. And we asked our church to pray, and the Lord answered, and it was not anywhere near what it could have cost.
Well, and even before that, the first meeting we had with the capital campaign consultant was May of 2019, I believe it was, and there was a hailstorm in the area.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And it didn't seem like it was as severe, but as we spoke with people afterwards who lived in the area, some people said they had roof damage. So we eventually had our situation evaluated here, and there was significant roof damage in which we were able to get insurance claims filed.
That's amazing.
Not only were we able to renovate the front of the church and put a new roof on there, but we were able to, with the insurance proceeds, redo the whole roof on the building, which actually, you didn't realize it until that happened, of how aged the roof looked.
I also think that was cool that we were also praying that the insurance company would be patient with us to hold that money until we were ready to do the roof. But it was awesome, again, that the Lord answered. Not only did they hold the money, but inflation, even when we were ready to do the roof, of course, it wasn't going to be cost what it would have when right at the moment of the hailstorm. It went up the cost, and they paid for it.
Well, as a matter of fact, you had asked about COVID. A lot of issues developed with COVID, but one of the problems was supply chain and the price of materials. So as Tim said, the price went up. So they asked us to resubmit the information, and they gave us additional monies to be able to pay for the entire roof as we completed it.
So during the project renovations, there was amazing blessings that the Lord was just guiding us and was there with us. We were discussing today that even the live streaming came out because we wanted to make sure that our church could continue to worship the Lord as we were in those unknowns and we were home. But what's neat is it didn't, even after we're here today and we're our new sanctuary, we're able to continue to have that live streaming and see its value as we have been seeing people find us online and now are attending here. And I have I know of people now that are attending with us that are also starting to serve with us, and it all started because they met us online.
Yeah, and as recently as this past Sunday, when the forecast was for a covering or an inch of snow, and it ended up getting up to 6 inches of snow, various people didn't feel comfortable driving to church.
Yeah.
They were able to watch online.
Oh man, it's amazing. And so also during the building project that our community noticed, I also wanted, and that was very neat. And we were just talking, and it's kind of cool to think about. I remember sitting at a baseball game for my son, Emerson, and talking to a family there that we had gotten to know. And the mother of the girl that was there and whose son was playing. Sorry. Yeah. She said, "Hey, you're a pastor at Calvary." I am. Oh, wow, that's really neat. You're that church that's under construction on Main Street. And I said, that's our church. She goes, "What are they doing?" And I got to share about the building project. And when I talked about that, the spaces are new classrooms for kids that are downstairs that our church had prioritized building classrooms for kids. Her mind was blown that a church would care for young families and children. And then she went on to look at her daughter and say, you should check out that church.
That. Even the aspect of when we started the construction here, it wasn't safe for the preschool to be here. So we came up with a plan to relocate that at least temporarily at the Fairmont building.
Man.
And that building was transformed, and there's been more success
Yes.
with the school now having the children located over there, and they really love it from what I understand.
We're going to need another pastor's chat of all the blessings and the things that have come about because of our whole building project and where God has brought us today, because we could go on and even expand on the preschool. Yeah.
So you asked me, COVID, what happened with COVID? Well, when COVID first started, the question was asked, would it be wise to proceed with the building campaign? And boy, there was a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty, but a lot of opportunities. For instance, the interest rate on our loan, because of things happening with finances, we were able to negotiate a very low interest rate, much lower than we would have had under different circumstances. Opportunity, maybe contractors would be more available. And there were, different things that happened with that. But one of the big negative things was that materials became extremely expensive. I am amazed at our committee who oversaw that, together with the contractor and the architects, that they were able to, through all that time, with all that hardship, that they were able to stay within budget and do everything that they intended to do.
It's incredible when you just look back and what God was doing through that whole project. Well, so we come back to talk about what are the reasons, why are we talking about all this today, and what do we want to do today with our pastor's chat?
Well, before we even started this several years ago, when we were thinking about it, there were a lot of wise people saying it was a difficult time right now for us to even move forward, and they didn't think it was a good idea for us to move forward. Here we are, we're sitting in the new facility,
yes,
and we're talking about all the blessings that we have because of it. And again, the facility is completed at this point, and now all we're really talking about from this point forward is the continuation of funding our pledges and financing, and then what other projects we may have beyond this that we weren't able to do right now.
Yeah. So we're nearing the end of that 3-year campaign that we both remember starting and being in that space. That's what we're nearing the end, and we want to help provide some clarity now and kind of answer some questions, because there are a lot of numbers, but there's also a lot that's kind of, even though it feels like it's done, there's still stuff going on. So at this point, what we're going to do is I'm going to just enjoy asking Dan some questions, because this is the guy that knows the answers. So, and it's we hope that this will help you get clarity. And we always encourage you, if you have any more questions, grab us on Sunday. We'd love to talk to you. So, and if I can't answer it, I'll point you to Dan, or I'll go ask Dan for you.